Imagine waking up one day to find yourself in a completely different world. A world without poverty, without crime, without the anxieties that plague our modern lives. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's precisely the premise of Looking Backward, 2000 Minnesota 1887 by Edward Bellamy. Hello, and welcome to AA's Book Talk. Today, we re-diving into this captivating utopian novel that took the late 19th century by storm. Edward Bellamy was an American author and socialist, born in 1850. He lived during a time of immense social and economic change, witnessing firsthand the rise of industrial capitalism and the stark inequalities it created. This backdrop deeply influenced his writing, and Looking Backward, published in 1888, became his most famous and influential work. It was a product of its time, reflecting the anxieties and aspirations of a society grappling with rapid industrialization and the growing gap between the rich and the poor. Bellamy wasn't just a writer. He was a social commentator and reformer, using his fiction to propose alternative ways of organizing society. The story begins with Julian West, a wealthy Bostonian who suffers from insomnia and is put into a hypnotic sleep in 1887. He expects to wake up the next day, but instead he awakens in the year 2000. He finds himself in a completely transformed Boston, a city free from poverty, pollution, and social strife. Dr. Leete and his family, who reside in what was once Julian's own home, take him in and guide him through this new world. As Julian adjusts to this futuristic society, Dr. Leete patiently explains the principles upon which it is based. The old capitalist system has been replaced by a nationalized industrial army, where every citizen contributes to the collective good and receives equal shares of the nation's wealth. Money is obsolete, replaced by a credit card system that allows individuals to access goods and services based on their allotted share. Bellamy vividly portrays a world where work is no longer a burden but a source of fulfillment. People choose their professions based on their talents and interests, and they are motivated by a sense of civic duty rather than personal gain. There is no unemployment, no homelessness, and no economic insecurity. Education is free and universal, fostering a society of informed and engaged citizens. Crime is virtually non-existent, as the root causes of criminal behavior, poverty and inequality, have been eliminated. Julian is particularly struck by the absence of cutthroat competition and the prevalence of cooperation. The citizens of 2000 are driven by a shared sense of purpose and a commitment to the well-being of the community. The stark contrast between this harmonious society and the cutthroat world he left behind is a constant source of amazement and reflection for Julian. Throughout the book, Julian grapples with the cultural differences between his time and the future. He observes the improved status of women, who enjoy equal rights and opportunities. He marvels at the advancements in technology, which have freed people from tedious labor and created more leisure time. And he appreciates the emphasis on art, culture, and intellectual pursuits, which enrich the lives of all citizens. However, Julian's adjustment is not without its challenges. He struggles to reconcile his old capitalist values with the new socialist ideals. He misses the familiar comforts and customs of his time, and he questions the practicality of such a radical social transformation. But as he learns more about the workings of this utopian society, he begins to see the inherent flaws in the old system and the potential for a better future. One of the most thought-provoking aspects of Looking Backward is its exploration of human nature. Bellamy argues that people are not inherently selfish or greedy, but that their behavior is shaped by the social and economic environment in which they live. By creating a society that fosters cooperation, equality, and mutual support, He believes that the best aspects of human nature can be unleashed. The novel ends with Julian experiencing a powerful dream in which he is transported back to 1887. He is horrified by the poverty, inequality, and social injustice he witnesses. He tries to share his vision of the future with his contemporaries, but they dismiss him as a madman. He awakens in despair, realizing the immense challenge of transforming society. Ultimately, Julian wakes up back in the year 2000, now fully embracing the values and ideals of this utopian world. He finds love and purpose and dedicates himself to preserving and promoting the principles of this new society. So, what can we learn from looking backward today? While Bellamy's specific vision of the future may not have come to pass, the book raises important questions about the nature of society, the distribution of wealth, and the potential for social progress. It reminds us that the future is not predetermined but is something we actively create through our choices and actions. It challenges us to imagine a better world and to work towards making it a reality. Bellamy's work encourages us to critically examine the social and economic systems that shape our lives. It prompts us to consider the values that underpin our society and to ask whether they truly serve the well-being of all citizens. It inspires us to think creatively about alternative ways of organizing society and to challenge the status quo. Furthermore, looking backward provides a reminder that progress is possible. Despite the challenges and setbacks, humanity has the capacity to learn, adapt, and create a better future. By embracing cooperation, empathy, and a shared sense of purpose, we can overcome the problems that plague our world and build a society that is more just, equitable, and sustainable. Thanks for joining me on Ace Book Talk today. If you enjoyed this discussion of Edward Bellamy's Looking Backward, please subscribe for more book recommendations. Until next time, keep reading and keep imagining a better future.